So when I went to Texas, we hadn't yet been to a Final Four with Jarrett Elliott, and so that was kind of like the recruiting process for me was, trusting in Jarrett and the program that he's building. And so I would say my generation from 2007 to 2011 was really the foundation of what Texas is now. And all credit to Jarrett and his staff of just building that culture and getting us to that point where, not going to a Final Four feels like, what? That's crazy. And he's had 25 years of that. And so it really started out when I played at Texas. So that was a long time ago. And I feel like that mentality was instilled in me at Texas. And then I went on and played overseas for 8 years in different countries and won some championships overseas, played with the national team, and then retired. I had some children, so I stepped away from the game, and this league was formed, and I was asked to play for the Austin team just because of the history that I've had here in Austin. And so coming back out of retirement and being able to play for this team and then win a championship in Austin last year was so incredible and a dream come true. And now going into season 2, having the opportunity to do that again, I just think we're setting this foundation for this team just like I did back in 2007. It's kind of a similar feel of like, this is a new thing. We're trying to build something really, really great here in America. But I think the Austin team is showing that championship mindset from the jump. Yeah, I think it's incredible. It's something that I always dreamed of when I was playing overseas. Leaving home and being gone for 8 months out of the year and then coming back and having to play summers with your national team, you're really never home. And it feels like, it's a pull. You really want to be able to experience and go to the highest level, but the only way to do that was to play overseas. Now you have the opportunity, especially with how League One is building and growing, to play really high level volleyball here in the States. And I think it creates an opportunity for kids coming out of college to make that decision. I think there are some really great things about playing volleyball overseas. I think I wouldn't be the person I am today if I didn't have that experience right out of college. With different cultures, different styles of volleyball, having to adapt and adjust and be really adaptable in adversity. But this is amazing that we get this opportunity. We get to stay home. We get to be close to family. Family can watch us in the stands, and that wasn't the case. We're thousands of miles away overseas, away from family, away from everybody that we love. And so it makes it that much sweeter that I get to be a part of building that process. Yeah, I think we're really good under pressure, and I think that it took us a while to kind of get our feet under us, get comfortable with our new system, a new coach, we've got new players. And the seasons are short, so it's not a lot of time to build, and it's not a lot of time to really get it together during the season. If you're not understanding, hey, it's go time from the very beginning of the season, then it's going to be really hard at the end of the season. And we had those conversations, we talked about it, but I think in that moment, after that loss to Nebraska, we really, we had a meeting with ourselves and really had to kind of look at the mirror and say, what do I need to do individually to bring more to the team and make sure that we can do this? And I think, we peaked at the right time, we're peaking at the right time, so that's really, really fortunate for us. And it just shows that whenever we're in that pressure situation, we rise to the occasion. So I think come playoff time, it's kind of that same feeling, right? It's do or die. We've got to win these next 2 matches in order to move on. And so I think we do really well in those circumstances. Yeah, I think why not us? I think we feel really confident after our run the last few matches, and to get down to the wire, down to the last match in the 5th set, that kind of pressure you can't recreate. And so I think that helps us in the long run, and it's going to help us when it comes to these next 2 matches. In Austin, I love the music scene here. I think it's really awesome. I love going to ACL. I love the culture that we have here in Austin of just, being that music town. And up and coming artists coming here, and I just really enjoy new restaurants and food. I think that the food here in Austin is amazing, so I love finding new restaurants, and kind of whenever people ask me for recommendations, I've got a running list of those things, so that's kind of my thing. Yeah, there's a lot of differences, from Guadalupe when I was going to college to South Congress, which is completely different. I think it's awesome to see the growth. It's sad to see some things go, like I heard the Chili's is going to be going away, and those staples in Austin, I think, are really important. So hopefully that continues, to stay and stick around. But it's been really cool, and I think that Austin is one of the best places to live, and people now know that, so they're moving here. Yeah, I think it gives me an advantage almost, because I do have that different perspective, and real life is happening for me every single day when I leave this gym. When we lose a match, I can't linger on that. I have to really snap into mom mode. Kids don't care if I, didn't play well or lost, and I've got to really focus on them. And I think that really helps me, because when I was a younger athlete, this was everything. And I was so honed in and focused on that, and really beat myself up if we lost and lingered on those. And now I just really don't have that opportunity to waste. And so it's allowed me to have a little bit more gratitude for the game, and it's more of, this is awesome that I get to be here. This is my job, and I think that my kids get to watch me do something hard and work really hard at something. And so what I hope is that they just pick that part of it up. I think they'll be great athletes, but I don't plan on having them be athletes if that's not what they want to do. I just think that athletics is a great way to show hard work and discipline, and so I hope that is instilled in my kids.
Yeah, I've been doing that routine since college. I don't know exactly when it came into effect, but I remember our coaches saying, this is your time to reset, get back to the inline and reset to go into your serve. So that's kind of the reason I started doing it. When I used to play basketball, I was big about spinning the ball before I shot free throws. So that's kind of evolved from my basketball days back in middle school. So I've always had that spin move in my reset. But yeah, it's done me pretty well. I'm serving pretty well this year, and so it's a nice reset, kind of going from the action on the court back to the service line, resetting, and just kind of getting in a nice serve. Oh my gosh. I think winning a national championship for sure. Definitely in the way that we did it. Sweeping a really, really good Louisville team was it just showed how dominant our program was and our season was that year. So I think that's kind of the defining moment of my career. When we won the national championship, it felt like the biggest relief I've ever felt. I felt like I could finally take a breath. Like you said, every college athlete goes into college wanting to win a national championship, and so finally getting to do that after 5 years of hard work, it was just this weight taken off my shoulder of I was able to accomplish something that not a lot of people get to accomplish. And so yeah, it was just the biggest breath of fresh air ever. That was a crazy moment, because we were not expected to win. We battled through two really, really tough quarter and semifinal games to get to the finals. And so I think in the finals, it was just kind of we're not even supposed to be here, so let's just play free and kind of see what happens. So that win just felt fun and exciting, and just we did something that no one expected us to do. So that was one of the first times I've won something feeling like an underdog. And it was wow, that was a good feeling. I don't love feeling like the underdog, but it was nice to prove people wrong and accomplish something really, really cool. Oh, I think just the amount of players that are going to continue to play post-college. I think one thing that has been unfortunate in the past is the fact that we had to go overseas. A lot of girls just aren't ready for that lifestyle. They don't want to be away from their family, their friends, and so they kind of ended their careers a little bit early. So it really excites me just to see how many more players are going to have phenomenal careers, because there's opportunities here in America. I think there's so many girls that ended their careers early that shouldn't have, and so now having this opportunity, we're just going to see, just more stars in our sport, and it's going to be really cool. this is like a dream come true playing in Austin. You know, I'm from Tennessee, but came to Austin and went to UT and like immediately felt like this was my home. And so getting to come back and represent a community that really helped me grow. Like I came to college when I was 17, so I was literally a kid, and then just the fan base, the community just like really embraced me all through college. And so to come back and be able to build something so great here in Austin is just like a dream come true. I think what makes me different is just my ability to reset. Like I think no matter what happened the last play, I'm going to come out swinging the next play. I'm a player who is just like super aggressive at the net, takes big swings, is very, really risky, and I think that's really fun to watch. Oh, that's a great question. Man, everything, I think. I think one specifically would be attacking, though. I think in college I was a super, super dominant attacker, but I was playing against girls who, you know, were my age. And now I'm playing against Olympians and just all these phenomenal, smart, intelligent volleyball players. And so I've had to, instead of just, you know, hitting the ball hard every single time and thinking it's going to work, be more smart, like have some different shots, go off speed, go hard sometimes. I think just like building up my toolbox has been really important post-college and just finding unique ways to score. Oh my gosh, Asia O'Neal, always. She's my best friend. But just seeing her journey through volleyball, obviously she had a great career at Texas, but people obviously know like open heart surgery. She had to sit out for a little bit, and just the way that she battled, stayed positive, and overcame just such like a crazy physical thing, and never had a bad attitude about it has been so cool to see. And so I think whenever I'm like doubting myself, kind of feeling like, do I want to do this? Like I look and I'm like, bro, she's done this, you know? And so it's like she's always had a good attitude, always been such a great leader, such a great support system. And so I think that's someone I've always looked up to in my career. Oh my gosh, I think if 10 years from now Love is up and running at the level that the WNBA is right now, or any of the major men's sports leagues, I think we'll be in a really good place. And I hope to continue to build it from the player side, but also outside of that, like just going in and getting those TV deals, getting those great brands to align with us. I think just seeing Love become a real major league is going to be really, really cool to see. Ooh, that's such a good question. Nothing to do with sports. Okay, I'm gonna have to go restaurant, so probably like Matt's El Rancho. I love some queso. Ooh. A good food. Literally Austin food. Any food here is gonna put me in a better mood. I'm someone, so like, I'm very energetic, always like out and about, always doing stuff, but I do love taking a nap. So I think people won't realize that I do sometimes take a nap for about 2 to 3 hours. I think we are the kind of people who rise under pressure. Like whenever our back's against the wall, we don't shy away from the moment, and I think like that's what high level athletes do. We love those moments where it's like there's pressure, it's do or die. I think everyone on our team that's when we play our best volleyball, and so I think that's what happened last year, that's what happened this year. Right now I think we just really just strive under pressure, and that's how we win. I do think we have a lot of trust in what we've done. You know, I think we can look back and be like, we've been in these moments before and we've been okay and we've found a way to win. And so I do think having that experience helps us a lot going forward.
Yeah, it's funny because this run that we've just done mirrors last year. We put ourselves in a predicament last year, and then we made this amazing run right at the right time. And we did it again. And so we had to win the last 2 matches against Nebraska and against Salt Lake. And Salt Lake, we cream them. We go to Nebraska, hostile environment. We win in 5. It's Jordan Larson's retirement game. It's a sold-out match. It is the most electric environment ever. Super fun, but everything's on the line. Like, we can't not go to the playoffs if we won last year, especially because we're returning a lot of athletes. But the one thing about us that I'll say is that we can perform under pressure. And maybe we don't do it well enough whenever there's not a ton of pressure, but now that's the name of the game. So I think we're in a good spot. No, I mean, in the locker room afterwards, we were all like super disappointed. Like, why do we put ourselves? We're mad at ourselves. That why did we put ourselves in this situation again? Because we know we can beat them. And Nebraska they were playing really, really well. I think all of their starters, 5 out of 7 starters are Olympians. Like, they started to really get a roll and really get a rhythm. But we knew that they were beatable. So why did we do that? I don't know. But when we have all cylinders firing, I think we're unstoppable. And we do that when it's on the line. And I don't know why. I don't know why we do that. We like to make it more entertaining. Absolutely, that kind of trust in each other. So like when we look at each other, when the game is on the line and like we're in that tight huddle, there's just like focused energy. It's like a flow state, fiery energy that we know that we have because we've been in that situation before. So I think that trust, a lot of our starters are returning from last year. Our bench is so solid, we know that they can come in and make a change. Like, that's already built within the system. Yeah. I think, I'm going to be really honest, I won in 2012, long time ago. It was the pinnacle of that time. I think since then I've become like hopefully a better volleyball player, and so there's a lot of time in between that I've built this like championship mindset. I think it is more amazing to see Logan, Asia, Maddie Skinner, Zoe, Bella, who just won and then came in from college straight to pro and then winning. So like keeping that mindset I think is really, really impressive. Of course, us veterans bring that too. So like, I love the fact that we won at UT. That feels ages ago, and that like I'm a better volleyball player. We're all better volleyball players since then. But the seamless transition that our young ones had from college to pro, I think just really helped us win last year. Oh, that's so kind because I always want more. So we win and I'm just like another one, and I don't ever rest in the like, I've done it, and so maybe in 20 years I can actually give myself that gift of like, no, we actually did perform at the highest level. I think athletes just don't think that way. I think it's really cool to win in the inaugural season, knowing that we've built something that can be sustainable for generations to come. And our names, our team that year was written down in history. Gosh, I love Austin so much. This feels like home to me. So I'm going to concerts. I think our restaurant scene is top notch. I think our coffee shop scene is top notch. Our thrifting, I'm frequently thrifting around this city. I still have a lot of old teammates from Texas that still live here. And so it's just a young, fit, vibrant, music-focused, art-focused city and a good balance of nature. I just think this is the best city ever. I love it.